Hello, farmers, and welcome to another episode of the harvest season. My name is Al,
And my name is Aislinn.
and we are here today to talk about cottage score games. Woo!
Woo!
Hello, Aislinn. It's been a while. How are you?
I am good. I am happy to be sitting. I've been running around like a lot as of recently. So I am very happy to be sitting. And yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Cool. I am also good. I don't tend to run around, but I do tend to be busy. My kids are now in bed, so this is the best time of the day.
Wonderful. Perfect. This is peak sitting right now.
Yeah. Yes. Have you? I haven't finished listening to your latest podcast episode, and I remember at the beginning you mentioned you kind of alluded to K-pop Demon Hunters. I presume you don't talk about that later on in the episode.
I don't know. I know I do not. I do
No,
not.
but you have presumably seen the film.
I have. I have watched
Yes.
it once and I did enjoy it.
So I'm thinking of when they're walking back to their lounge after their show at the beginning and just chanting couch. That is how I feel many evenings.
That is what I crave desperately right now in life. I crave couch. And then just the immediate just cut to and we're debuting a new single
Yeah.
is just how I feel.
Mm, yes. There is
The
no
illusion.
rest.
It's the illusion of the couch.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, yes. So we are not here to talk about K-pop Demon Hunters, although maybe, but who knows? We'll see.
If it comes
Uh,
up, who knows?
I've seen it more than you, though. Apparently, I've seen it three times now.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you've definitely seen it more than me.
One of my top films of the year. So
Wow. That's
uh,
crazy.
I know, right? Like, imagine, I often think about how I think teenage me would hate adult me. Uh, you go back and tell like 15-year-old me that one year I mean, first of all, he'd say, what is K-pop? But it's like, well, yeah, it wasn't really a thing I was aware of. When I was 15, what was that,
Mhm.
20 years ago? Um, but if you went back 20 years ago and told me that in 20 years, one of your favorite films of the year will be a, about a K-pop band, he would be very confused and very disappointed in what I became.
That's just how
But
it be with K-pop.
yeah, well, yeah, yeah. Where was I? Yes, where we are instead here to talk about cottagecore games. The main topic this episode is Firefly Village, which we will get onto. Before that, we have a bunch of news. But first of all, Aislinn, what have you been up to?
I have been up to a lot of working. That's nothing new. Um, I just finished the post game, or specifically the looker stuff in Pokemon X,
Hmm.
and that is better than the entirety of Pokemon X, in my opinion.
Wow.
I
Oh man.
loved, I loved the Looker storyline and everything. But otherwise, I've been still working through Persona 3 Reload, and I've been watching one of my friends play Wanderstop for the first time. So
Hmm.
in a way, I'm kind of replaying the game.
Hmm.
So that's been really, really nice because I gifted it to her. I was like, because it was on her wish list for a while, and I was like, you need to play this game. And we were in a call, and I was like, you know what? You need to play this game. I'm gonna give you the game, and then during one of our gaming sessions, you're gonna play the game, and I'm gonna watch. And that's what we're doing now.
Hmm.
Because I just love the game.
Yeah, Wonderstop is definitely on my list of games I'm going to play before the end of the year. Especially when I found out how short it is. I'm like, oh
Hmm.
yes, I definitely like. When I see a game that is people really like and is a game that I think I'll like, and you can complete it in 10 hours, that sounds perfect to me.
Yeah,
That's like that's
it's
like a week
definitely
of playing a game for me.
it's definitely a bite-sized game, which is really nice.
Like some other games we might be talking about later this episode.
True, I think. Spoiler.
Um,
That'll make
the
sense
other
later.
My other question for you is Persona.
Hmm.
Is this your first Persona game? Have you played
Yes.
others? Right,
Persona
okay.
3 Reload is my first Persona game.
Would I like a Persona game?
Oh, um,
I know they're not short, right? So
yeah,
I know that about them. It's not like I only play short games. I do play longer games. I have put, you know, uh, Pokemon Violet. I currently have like 350 hours in, right? So
yeah,
and I put like 150 hours into Tears of the Kingdom in the first month, right? So like I am open to games where I put in, over 100 hours. I am aware that that is a thing that would probably have to happen if I was to get the full experience of this game.
yeah.
But I don't know if this is if Persona games are the sort of games that I would like or not.
This is going to be a very odd question, but what are your favorite parts of Pokemon? Like Pokemon games?
Ooh, my favorite parts of Pokemon games would be the collecting of the Pokemon.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Hmm. Because I'm like, if you don't mind or you enjoy like the grinding to an extent, I think you would enjoy Persona. If you don't like a grindy experience,
Mhm.
I might be just a little bit hesitant, but the dialogue and the story, and again, to be fair, this is A, I haven't finished Persona 3, and B, it's my first Persona game, so I don't know if this carry over blah, blah, English carries over to other Persona games, but it's very dialogue slash story heavy.
Mm.
Um, and
Mm.
you do just kind of like a lot of repetitive tasks in a way
So, well,
to get more dialogue and get to know the characters, and then you grind up and
mhm.
level up your characters to do like boss battles and stuff. So,
So I guess one thing to talk about is, do I like grinding? Do I like doing repetitive tasks
mhm.
for hours to get to an end goal? Aislinn, what games do we talk about on this podcast?
I was gonna say, with that said, with all of the farming games that are very repetitive,
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I feel like grinding is not. I'm not the biggest fan of grinding in Pokemon games, but I think it's because of the type of game it is. I
yeah,
prefer to do the collecting and get through the story, and then, well, let's, as Kevin said, I do shiny hunt. So let's not pretend like I don't do grinding. Um, but I think if I expect that going into a game that is a different thing, right? I wouldn't want grinding in a Mario Kart game, for example, because I'd be
yeah.
like, this is not, I'm not here for grind. Well, you grind on
Well, I was
rails,
like, you
hey,
don't want to
hey.
grind the
Um,
rails
but
in the
like,
new Mario Kart.
I don't want to have to play the same course 100
Mhm.
times to unlock a character, right? That's,
Yeah.
I'm here to play the courses until I've gotten first in all of them, and then I move on to the next. I'm here for that fun. But do I have it in other games and enjoy those games? Absolutely. I think the thing I think until maybe a month ago, I would have said I'm not a big fan of dialogue heavy games. However, um, Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar changed me on that in the I presume you've not heard the episode on Grand Bazaar.
No, I have not been able to listen to it yet.
One of the things I really like about how they did dialogue in that game is one, it has not full voice acting, but all the dialogue that matters, like all the story based stuff has full voice acting. But also the conversations you can set to auto advance. So what I was doing, because part of my problem is I will sit with a game and I'll be like, I'll be playing and it'll come to dialogue bit and I'll just like mash through the dialogue. And it's not that I don't want to hear the dialogue. It's that one, I'm not a big reading fan, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm just not super fun. I don't enjoy looking at text and reading it.
Hmm.
Ironic that I am a software developer and that entire job is text based, but
You
I
get
don't
burned
enjoy.
out, you know? You don't want to keep reading during your off
Maybe
time.
that's the reason. Maybe it's, and it's why I'm not a huge book reader. I just don't like looking at text and trying to figure out what it says. So that I think that's part of it, but also like my hands sometimes just need something to do, and I struggle to hold a console or a controller and not press buttons on it, right? And you're sitting there for
Right.
ages reading text, not pressing buttons. That's not how games work. Games work when you
Hmm.
press buttons. So what I did with Story Seasons Grand Bazaar is that when the dialogue came on, I pressed the auto thing, turned up the volume, and put the switch down, and took my hands away and played with a fiddle toy or something.
Hmm.
Which is what I'm doing just now. I'm playing with a fiddle toy, so I don't do other things. And that I actually enjoyed the story and the dialogue from the characters much more, being able to sit there, fiddle, and hear the story rather than having to read and wait and press a button at the right time. The other thing is like obviously quite often text will be really slow and you have to press to speed it up, but the problem is if you press too quickly you then advance to the next part of the text and you've
Hmm.
missed the previous text. And that's a big problem I have in Pokemon games all the time, right, is like
Oh my God,
trying
yeah.
to advance the text but not skip the
Hmm.
text. So being able to do that and like actually just slowing down that part of the game and forcing me to have my hands not on the Switch meant that I enjoyed that a lot more. So I know Persona 3 is not, I suspect Persona 3, being how old it is, will not have full voice acting. Um,
No, it does.
oh,
For
it
the most
does.
part, it
Oh,
does.
really?
It has
Interesting.
a lot of voice acting. It
Oh,
has a couple
okay.
cutscenes.
Hmm.
Um, it's definitely still text dialogue
Hmm.
relatively heavy, but there is a good amount of voice acting.
Okay. Okay. Hmm.
So I think it's something to consider. I think it's
Hmm.
worth giving a shot. I have been really enjoying it, but I also like reading, but there is still voice acting.
Yeah.
But I also have it. I'm playing it in Japanese voice acting because I just prefer to play a game from like in the native
Yeah.
region where the game came from in their
That's fair.
language.
That's fair. I'm a
So I'm just
big
reading it all.
I'm a big a dub guy. Not
Hmm.
because I totally because I'm one of these people that people hate who I watched the dub of Squid Game. And I know that people really hate that. And yes, when you have a dub, quite often, especially when it's a Japanese to English dub, quite often the speech can be a bit weird because it's not been like translated into a natural way of speaking, and
Yeah.
so some of it can be a bit jilted, and I get that. I and it's not that I don't like. It's not that I hate reading subtitles because I watch everything with subtitles because I find it helpful to like back up what I was hearing and go, yes, that's what I heard. That's fine. Let's continue. It's that I don't like how I can't look away from the screen at any time or you miss stuff.
Yeah.
When you are listening to something in English and you've got subtitles, it's like you've got two ways of getting the information in, which, as people will tell you all the time, is the best way to take information in is with multiple ways, right? Listening and
Hmm.
reading at the same time is you take in much more that way. But also it means that like if I'm playing a game or I'm doing, I can like look somewhere else and I don't miss a sentence, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you're listening in Japanese or whatever, you just can't. Because I watch Pokemon in Japanese, but that's because I'm too lazy to wait for the dub to come out because it's so late.
Yeah.
And so I watch fan translations of the Pokemon anime, but like that's one 20-minute episode a week, right? Like it's a whole
Yeah.
different
That's
thing.
that's yeah.
And also it's Pokemon, it doesn't really, the story doesn't hugely matter if you miss a
It's
sentence. You still
also
get the
true.
idea of it. Whereas with Squid Game in particular, if you miss one sentence, you could miss a huge twist, right? Like there was
Yeah.
a lot of things happening. So that's why I generally watch dubs, even though some of the voice acting is not the best.
Yeah, I will say I am a dub hater for myself and only myself. Anyone else that listens or watches anything with that's like dubbed, it's fine. It's not affecting me. It's just a personal
Yeah,
preference. I'm just
yeah.
like, no. I'm
That's
like
fair.
elite.
Yeah.
I'm a subtitle elitist for myself and only myself. Because again, I'm like, it doesn't matter. And I agree with you that being able to listen to it in English and then also have subtitles does allow you to take in the information better. So if I did the same thing, I probably would take in the information better. But I just definitely have this preference towards again just listening to something in the language that it was made in.
Mhm.
whether it be a movie, a show, a game, whatever it may be. But with that said, I will say I have heard very, very, very good things about specifically the Persona series and their English
Mhm.
translations and their English voice acting. I've heard it's really, really, really good. So,
It definitely depends on whether it's done right or not because
yeah.
I've only seen one of the Studio Ghibli films. It was the newest one, The Boy and the Heron.
Hmm.
But it had excellent voice acting in English.
Yeah.
And I've heard that generally their films are very good with the dubs.
Yeah.
Um,
They get like some big time like American or
oh
not
yeah,
always American, but like
they
big
had
time like
Robert
actors.
Pattinson was in the Boy and the Heron. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they do, but yeah, so it absolutely depends on how much effort they've put in, and it's just
Hmm.
sometimes a lot of them, especially Netflix ones, do tend to be like it was somebody in a box reading like an automatic translation of what was said, and they like have weird intonation of words, and you're just like, that's not how people talk. Why are you saying it like that? Um So yeah, it definitely massively depends. So I can see how especially I think if it's like I can see how games would be better than film and TV because I think you how do I
I feel like you have the budget for it, first of all.
that is part especially the big ones, right?
Yeah.
But I think like for example you know the Zelda ones, Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the
Hmm.
Wild had pretty good voice acting. Yeah, I know some people found Zelda annoying. That's not an issue with voice acting, that's just it was a posh English accent. That was the issue. uh,
Fair enough.
no matter who it is, you're going to be annoyed by a posh English accent, same. um uh I think that people, if you're putting in the effort to put voice acting in a game, you care about the voice acting. If you're
Yeah.
not putting, if you don't care about voice acting, you're probably not putting it in the game at all.
Yeah.
Whereas you can't do a film without words. Well, I mean, you can,
Well, I was
but
gonna say you can, but
people don't want that now, right? So
yeah.
it's easier to not care as much about the effort of a dub when you're making a film because you care about the original or whatever, and not necessarily. And it's different people doing the translation and the dubbing. It's not the original creators, so the effort isn't necessarily there as much.
Mhm.
So,
I will
but
say, and I'm not confident in this, but I do wonder to bring it back to K-pop Demon Hunters. I will say, I do wonder how the dubs for the other languages are if they also sound like it's in a box. So that's on my list of
yeah.
things to look up later.
Was that so? Yeah, because it was Sony, but Sony are they're a South Korean company, aren't they? Sony?
That is a great question. I have no idea.
No, Sony are American,
I was
apparently.
gonna,
I thought
it's
Sony
a,
were South Korean. They're American. Interesting. Okay.
if
My
you want to,
bad.
tr no, it's Japanese.
Wait, really? Oh, yeah, here. Oh, yeah, I'm misreading this thing.
My reliable source,
Sony
Wikipedia,
Interactive
tells me.
Entertainment LLC is an American video game and digital entertainment company of Japanese conglomerate Sony Group Corporation. So they're Japanese.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
There was a, but what is their, where did their animation happen? Sony Animation.
I think it was because it was Korean Americans that made K-pop Demon Hunters, I want to say. So it's an American branch of Sony worked on by
So
Koreans and Korean Americans, question mark? This is all big
Sony,
question marks.
Sony Pictures Animation is American, an American
Okay.
subsidiary, owned by Sony, based in Los Angeles. I guess not that surprising. But yeah, no, I'm aware that the singers and music was written by Korean Americans. Yeah, but I guess what was my point? It's not as simple as going, it's an American thing. What
Yeah.
does it sound like in other languages? Because it's both and, but also I was making that assumption based on Sony being South Korean, not being Japanese, which is very different. Um, yeah,
I'm
okay.
glad we figured that out.
I don't know what we figured out. We figured something out.
We figured at least Sony's not South Korean.
Yeah,
And we figured out that I'm gonna try
breaking the
and bring
news.
things back to K-pop Demon Hunters for funsies.
Nothing wrong with that. It's a great film and great music. And I've got Craig, my son. He's obsessed with it now. So, uh,
What's y'all's favorite song?
oh, I think my favorite is What It Sounds Like.
That one's my number two.
Golden is my number two.
Oh my God, we're just reversed.
Okay,
We're literally just reversed. Gold is my number one,
nice.
and this is what it sounds like, right?
Yeah,
Is my number two.
yeah.
Good picks, good pick, good taste.
I asked
You should
Craig what
listen
his
to more
favorite
K-pop.
is, and he just says all of them.
All of them.
I've been listening to some.
Easy.
I've been listening to some K-pop recently. I was listening to. I've been really enjoying Jump, um, by
From
Blackpink.
Blackpink.
Yeah, I'm enjoying
I
that
want
song.
I want to get into that song, but I just can't. I can only get into it if it was like I'm seeing it live. Otherwise, like I'm sitting in my
Hmm.
in with my earbuds on just listening to that. I'm just like I just can't. I can't do it.
Uh, it does need a good bass.
It does, yeah. Maybe like in my car. Maybe that's where I can get into it more.
Just driving down the road very fast with your windows open.
Totally safe.
So, no, driving within the speed limit, paying
Within the
attention,
speed limit fast.
obviously. Fast within the speed limit. You
Fast
can be
within the speed limit.
you can be fast while also driving legally. Thank you.
True. You could be slow while also driving legally, so you make a good point.
Okay, so that's what you've been up to. I have been playing Firefly Village, which we'll talk about later in the episode. And I also got Craig, my youngest, into playing Donkey Kong Bonanza, and he is enjoying that. So that's fun. He doesn't play a lot of games because he gets like really obsessed with games. He's basically been playing Astrobot for the last year.
Oh, I
Um,
love that.
he's 100. He's done everything in the game. Um, uh, there were a couple of bosses that he needed my help with, but other than that, he did basically everything. And
Like even like the challenge levels?
mhm, mhm.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
There's one level in the newest batch of update levels that he hasn't done yet, the Mega Mix Mastery. That
Hmm.
is the one he hasn't done, but he's gotten very close. He's managed to get to the last section of it, and I think it's only a wee bit before he manages to finish it. He's really good, which is
It's
terrifying.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like significantly better than me, and maybe even better than my husband. I don't know.
I think these
That's
things are
crazy.
very much about how early you start doing these things, right? Because I've seen a
Yeah,
lot of people who grew up with 3D platformers not understand and know how to use 2D platformers, which is very interesting.
that is interesting. It makes sense though, because I do struggle with 3D platformers because of just like the depth of fields, but like 2D
Hmm.
platforms is generally easier for me, but I also grew up probably with more 2D platformers
Yeah.
versus 3D.
Whereas I grew up playing basically both at the same time because I grew up playing Sonic, and then straight into Crash Bandicoot, which
So
if
you have the balance.
if any game is going to mess with your field of vision, it's Crash Bandicoot.
I only have
Um,
like the vaguest memory. I played a lot of like the demo, like the
mm,
CD demo that you got in like the monthly magazines or
yeah,
something
yeah,
from
yeah,
PlayStation of
yeah.
Spyro. That's what I played a lot.
Interesting. Yeah, I never played Spyro. Crash was my 3D platformer. Uh,
We gotta know what's the listener's 3D platformer.
what was your first 3D
What
platformer?
was your first 3D platformer?
Hmm. All right, let's talk about some news. Uh, we don't have a humongous amount of news because we are recording 3 days after the last episode was recorded. But uh, Pokopia came in at the end with some big news, so we'll get to that in a minute. But let's go through the other news first.
Hmm.
First up, we have Gaucho and the Grasslands have announced an update for their game. They say, goodness me, am I really going to try this? In honor of Faru
Same.
Farupila? Farupila month. I am so sorry, Kevin, and anyone else who is embarrassed by that pronunciation. In honor of Farupila month, Gaucho in the Grassland is receiving a special update that introduces new mechanics, exclusive skins, customization items, and adjustments that further enrich the player experience. This is introducing a new mini game, the magic of the gaita. It's an instrument. It looks kind of like an accordion type thing. An instrument the players can now play in the game. Beyond music, it also introduces a brand new teleportation mechanic to travel across different regions of the map. That's very, very different, having to play a musical mini game to teleport to fast travel.
That is interesting. I like that though. That's cute. I like
Mm,
that a lot. Just any music incorporated into a game is always a plus one for me.
mm. They've also added new traditional skins, new stylized assets inspired by Southern soccer teams, um, a new NPC, and some quality of life improvements.
It looked like a pretty good update, and the game just came out like pretty recently, right? July
Yeah, I
of
think it was July. Yeah,
2025.
yeah.
It's pretty quick, which feels like the trend for a lot of these new like a lot of the news that we have. I'm like, this game just came out and there's already an update.
Yeah,
It's nice
yeah,
though. It's very nice.
and it's not early access, is it? It's just,
I think it's just the game.
yeah, it's just a
Yeah,
game.
it's just the game.
It's just a game.
When is this episode generally coming out also?
This episode will be coming out on the 1st of October,
Okay,
a week
disregard. I
tomorrow.
was like, it's on sale now. It's not going to be on sale by the time this episode comes out.
No, no,
So disregard.
it's it's not it's it's not going to be on sale by the time I normally record. Never mind the release, the episode coming out. Next we have Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma, and Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar crossover. Both games made by Marvelous. Guardians of Azuma will have a free DLC entitled Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. It's coming soon, and that's all we know.
I was gonna say, like, what? I mean, yeah, I see the blue sky post. It's like, yep, it's coming soon, and that's it. I was like, is it gonna be like a DLC for both games, like for Guardians of Azuma? There's gonna be like a Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar thing, and then vice versa.
Yeah, I don't think so. I
It
think it's
just says
just a DLC for Rune Factory.
fair enough. Is it just? It's probably just gonna be the characters. Can you
Maybe,
tell
I
I've
don't
never
know.
played any of these games?
I mean, characters, Grand Bazaar characters in Rune Factory would be interesting, because they're quite different tonally, right?
They look
Uh,
completely different.
they are.
I
I
can
guess it could be
tell.
that. It might, I mean, my assumption immediate was like items, cosmetics and stuff.
You telling me these cute cows are not going to be in Guardians of Azuma?
Look, I mean, if there's anything that would improve a Rune Factory game, it's more whimsy.
Yeah, it's very like it takes itself. It feels like it takes itself very seriously,
It's
and I'm
gotten
like, aren't we
more.
just
It's got
farming?
yeah. It's gotten more like that over time because Rune Factory originally was just Harvest Moon, but also combat. But
Mm.
it's gotten more gritty and more serious. It's the Zack Snyder farming game.
I love that. I love that comparison. I like the I when I because I again I've never played this game before. I seeing the fact that there's like combat, but it's also a farming game. I was like, oh, this is interesting. But it did feel like it was taking itself a little bit too seriously, and I was like, we need a little bit of like ha ha funny, like cute whimsy somewhere
Well,
in there. And I'm
yeah.
like, I don't know if I'm getting that. That
I
guy
mean,
just said in the trailer, "Lovely weather we're having." I need a little more.
yeah. I mean, in four, the when you were carrying like a stack of turnips or whatever, you would literally see the stack above your head. So it did have some silliness like that, but they've kind of, I don't think they had that in five. I don't remember them having that in
Mhm.
five. So they've kind of like, yeah, they removed some of the whimsy and kind of gone more serious, I think, as they're leveling up and go. A lot of that happened when they made the move to like 3D rather than 2D.
Maybe I'll check in an older one.
I don't like them, but
Oh,
maybe you will.
it might be worth the shot.
Some people, I mean, lots of people do.
They keep making them for a
Lots of
reason.
people do. You can go back and listen to our Rune Factory 4S episode if you want.
You know what? I will. I will do that. I'll add that to my list.
Never ending list.
literally.
Next, we have Discounty update. This is the Deep Pockets update. It is coming soon, although the beta for it is out now. If you want to subscribe to the beta channel on Steam, you can add a basement to your shop. They say dig a basement. You need more space and can't expand outwards. What about straight down? This update adds a new quest line that sees you expanding Discounty once again. But as you've no doubt learned, nothing in Blomkest comes easy. And there might be some other people in town who take an unexpected interest in your new basement project. I really hope this is like that tunnel girl on TikTok. Do you remember that? Were you aware
What?
of that? Oh, were you not aware of this? There was
What? I'm not on
there was
TikTok,
this
first of
there,
all.
there was
Tunnel
this
girl on TikTok.
there was this woman on TikTok who was referred to as Tunnel Girl, and she was building a tunnel under her house. But she just lived in like a suburb, right? So she was like essentially digging like underneath her neighbors' houses.
Oh,
And she had no
oh my
like
God.
permission to do this. She didn't have like a permit
Oh,
or anything. And it was just this wild like couple of weeks where she was digging this massive tunnel under her house before the like local government shut her down.
I'm seeing it on YouTube. I'm seeing it via Reddit because again, I don't have TikTok.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God. This is new. This is new information to me. This is why?
It looks like she did eventually manage to get approval for the tunnel and she got a proper permit and is doing the tunnel the proper way. But
As
yeah,
long as it's not under other people's houses,
she
sure.
she got a mandatory evacuate. No, that was a mandatory evaluation. I misread that. Never mind. Uh, but yeah, she got to. It was December last year that she was told to stop constructing, and they would evaluate it, and then she would get the permit. It's just, it's
This is
mad that you would
crazy.
just start doing that without checking if you should or not. And I'm not saying that people don't, it does look like she knew or she learned enough to know what she was doing.
She was
Um,
crushing it. She was doing great from what I saw.
Apparently so, and apparently it was fine. It's just like we have a system to make sure that people know what they're doing, and she wasn't following that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Man, imagine I'm just reflecting back on like when I lived with my parents in the town that we grew up in. It was like an incorporated village type of thing, and they like told you like you have to like mow your grass in order to keep up with like the rules of the town, I guess, or whatever. But one of my neighbors, he installed like a curb in front of his house, and he got in trouble for that.
Yeah.
So if he got in trouble just for installing a curb in front of his house, imagine the trouble that he would get in trouble for.
Yeah, it's like I've heard people complain about being told off for their grass being the wrong length and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And she managed to go months of digging a tunnel under her house.
the duality of man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Anyway, so I hope this storyline includes something about that. That would be really funny.
And give us Tunnel Girl.
They also got upgrades to your shop. The level up your shop. They've got new items to the reward shop. They've got new uh, uh, decorations for the outside of your shop, and obviously quality of life and bug fixes. Discount is definitely on my list if I want to play it at some point, but I haven't done yet.
Let me know how it is when you do,
Oh, I
because
will. Don't you
I
worry.
like watched a streamer play it for like a little bit, and I just wasn't sure if I liked it or not. So to get like a full in-depth analysis rather than like having to like watch the full game
Yeah,
would be nice. So
yeah,
because
yeah,
it
yeah.
looks really cute.
I mean, it
It
has a
looks very, very cute, and I
thousand,
think
a thousand mostly positive reviews.
yeah, so it's got to be
So
decent. And I like the undertone that they have had with the game where it's like in the description of the game, selling more frozen fries will surely heal this broken community. Dot dot dot, right? So
yeah,
I like that like undertone of like there is more to this game than you perceive. Kind of like
yeah,
Wanderstop. It's like Wanderstop, you think it's just a cozy team making game, and it's like, nope, it's way more than that.
yeah,
Buckle in.
yeah. The how long to beat for Discounty is giving 16 and a half hours for the main story, 20 hours for completionist. So that's
That's not
definitely
bad.
that's pretty good
That's
length.
digestible.
That's a week if I'm in the mood for it, 2 weeks if I'm going casually.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, next we got a couple of other pieces of news. First up, Concerned Ape has said that the 1.7 update will take a while. That's it.
Yep.
That's all the
Yep.
news about that. We are
Why
definitely at the point
why
of overanalyzing Concerned Ape tweets.
I just want to know why I thought we were done after 1.6 and we
No,
were going to focus and lock in on Haunted Chocolatier.
no.
What happened? What I mean, I know he
What
said in one of
happened
those
is what happened is he
interviews,
had
but
ideas.
give us Haunted
So well, so
Chocolatier.
you obviously hadn't heard the news in the previous podcast, which is where we pointed out that he says that he is not really doing the work on this, but he's the ideas and helping move it forward rather than actually
Okay.
implementing it. His team is big enough now, and he trusts them enough that he can like get them to do most of the work, and
Okay.
he's
Okay.
doing basically all of the the chocolated haunted deer. Haunted Chocolatier instead. So he says it shouldn't delay Haunted Chocolatier much. That's what he's
Okay.
saying.
Okay. All right. I'll
So it
take it.
sounds like he's got a
Yeah, I
much
am
more
very
sensible Stardew Valley balance. If
okay. All right, we'll take that. We'll take that. I
I mean
definitely
we're
missed the news. I'm very backlogged in podcasts. So this all tracks. This all makes sense.
I mean let's not pretend like we're getting it before 2028. I don't know.
Oh man.
I don't know. I mean, look, I wouldn't. It's hard to predict these things, but if you gave me an over under 2030, I would struggle to decide which one I was going for at this point.
Yeah, I might agree. Maybe I'll just lock in just 2030, just call it a day. Maybe that's the way to go. How
I
much
think I would do the
longer?
under on 2030, but I wouldn't do the under on 2028.
So 2029.
I think 2028, 2029 is probably
Okay.
what I would be expecting at this point. But I think 3 years ago, I probably said 2026. So
So
who
here we
even
are.
knows? Who even knows? When did this game get announced?
I don't even know. It's I feel like I've just heard about it for forever.
It was announced in 2020.
Oh, it hurts. I understand, but oh, it hurts.
Oh, my bad. No, it was 2020. He began working on it. October 2021 was when he announced it. So we are coming up on
Okay.
4 years since it was announced.
Okay. All right. So maybe, 2028 is sounding pretty good. 2028, I feel like 8 years is sounding pretty decent.
Well, was it 7 years I think it took for Stardew Valley? Is that what he
Is that what it
said it
was,
took him?
really?
It was a long time he said it took him.
But he's got the game development cycle down, he's got to he knows how to expedite the process a little bit here and there. But then also I'm sure he's including like a lot more depth to this game. Not
Yes,
that
that's
Stardew
true.
doesn't already have that, but
That's
hopefully
true.
those two like balance each other out. So it's like the 8 year mark,
My
2028.
bad. It looks like it was 4 years he took
Uh,
to make Stardew.
oh, well, my
No,
argument
four
just went out
years.
the
No,
window.
5 years. Wait, when was it released? He started working on it in 2011, and it was released in 2016. So that's 5 years.
Okay.
But you're probably right. It probably is like a lot of the things that he would have added to Stardew in updates are probably things he'll want to include similar sort of things in the base game for this one, right? Like
Yeah.
he's
So
got
he
a
should,
lot more of ideas of how he wants games to feel as a whole. I get that.
yeah, definitely like there obviously at the end of the day there's absolutely no rush and when it comes, is whenever it comes. And I'm sure it'll be great no matter what. But I wonder how like his skills of game development have allowed him to like what what's the words I'm looking for? He's honed the skills, I'm sure a number of the skills with game development. I wonder how that affects his workflow
Hmm.
speed versus implementing the new ideas that he has.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how that pans out in regards to like a timeline.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because yeah, 4.5 or 5 years for Stardew. We're at this point approaching where we are at about 5 years for Haunted Chocolatier. So
Yeah.
it could be maybe another 2 years.
Who knows? It
Who
doesn't help that it
knows?
doesn't help that he keeps doing Stardew Valley stuff.
I know. But at least he's not actively working on this one at least. So that hopefully that gives us some hope.
All right, the other piece of news we've got is Fae Farm. So this complicated history around Fae Farm is that the company that developed it was what were they called? Phoenix Labs. They are the people who made Dauntless. So they made Fae Farm and they released it in 2023. And then the company basically died. They said
Uh,
that in 2024, they laid off most of their company and said that they were just going to be focusing on Dauntless and Fae Farm, no other of their games. They cancelled multiple games, including one game that was apparently only weeks away from being released in early access.
I think
Then,
I vaguely remember hearing about this.
yeah, then in the beginning of this year, they laid off the rest of their development team and announced that they were going to shut down the online components of Fae Farm and presumably Dauntless, because that's like a basically a fully online game, wasn't it? Yeah, the game's servers were shut down in May this year.
Hmm.
Um, so the online part of Fae Farm, which was not huge, I didn't actually use the online component at all, but it was shut down a few weeks ago, I think. We have found out that apparently Fae Farm has now been purchased by a company called Gambit Digital, who are a collective of what was the wording here? Let me find the
I
wording.
couldn't figure out what they were too. I was like, they have two games to their name,
An
Fae
experienced
Farm and Bloody
collective
Hell Hotel, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
An experienced collective of video game leaders proudly announced their acquisition of the game, including the existing title and ongoing IP rights. This exciting partnership ensures that players can continue enjoying the game's enchanting live services while opening new possibilities for the future of Azuria. The collective, composed of Gambit Digital, Game Cloud Network, Pure Wonder Interactive, and Fatty Acid with a PH, bring together expertise and resources to enhance the player experience and drive innovative development of the Fae Farm franchise. Is it a franchise if you've got one thing? I don't know. The
Yeah, it's an
group
interesting choice of word.
The group will work together to nurture long-term growth with Gambit Digital serving as the publisher of record for Fae Farm moving forward. Originally developed and published by Phoenix Labs and launched in September 2023, 2 years ago that is, Fae Farm quickly cultivated a thriving community with more than 500,000 players across all platforms. The new ownership team is thrilled to collaborate closely with this passionate community, ensuring the enchanting online experience continues to flourish. Players can look forward to and exciting future announcements that will add even more magic to their Azoria and adventure. Pascal Natath,
Sure.
co-founder of Gambit Digital, added, Fae Farm has captured the hearts of players around the world and we're honoured to help guide its next chapter. As a studio rooted in Canada, we're especially proud that this partnership will ensure Fae Farm remains a Canadian IP, one that continues to celebrate its community while staying true to the spirit that made Azoria so special in the first place. Okay.
I hope for those that love Fae Farm, I hope this means I hope this allows for the game to kind of have like a comeback and come back to have the servers supported and everything.
Yeah, I'm really fascinated by this. Like, why is it multiple companies that are buying it? Um, and also
I I mean they
Gambit.
did say they were a collective, so
Yeah.
maybe that's part of it. I don't know how these corporations work.
It looks like Gambit Digital is a new company that was only founded at the beginning of this month, based in Montreal.
You know what? That makes sense considering they only have two games, so that makes sense.
I
Yeah,
don't.
I can't help but be just a little bit hesitant because of never hearing of Gambit Digital and them just being so new.
Yeah, and
And
hey,
how
we
did they
now
get the
own a game.
finances to purchase the
Oh,
game?
that's always a question for these companies. Like, how did you
You
get
know,
finances? It's always rich people.
I'm sure they also got financial help from the Game Cloud Network, Pure Wonder Interactive, and Fatty Acid.
Whoever they are.
Whoever they are too, I don't know. I hope it's good for those that love the game but I can't help but be hesitant because there's just not enough information out there as to what all of this means. It's all just like buzzwords.
Oh no, Fatty Acid are a generative AI studio.
No.
Oh boy, what a
Oh
that's exactly what
no.
we want.
Oh, oh gosh. All right, I don't have much faith. I don't have much faith. Good thing my heart is not poured into Fae Farm.
I can't see much about Pure Wonder Interactive.
All I got from Game Cloud Network was that they are what seems to be like a mobile game
Yeah,
like company.
I mean that makes sense for the name, right?
True, true. You actually, yeah, very true.
Game Cloud Network has brought together global leaders in advertising, enterprise media, and gaming to create a revolutionary way to authentically engage modern consumers. Ooh.
That is all buzzwords to me. It
It's all
is
buzzwords to
1000%
everyone.
all buzzwords. Oh yeah, I do
Bizarre.
see this generative studio. Oh my God. Know that I am a generative AI hater.
And what does it mean? What does it mean to be a collective of companies owning a game? Uh,
Y'all rich and banded together.
I just, it's interesting because it's not like a company being owned by multiple companies, like how, Game Freak is. Not
Yeah.
Game Freak, the Pokemon company, sorry, Game Freak are one of the
Oh, yeah,
companies.
yeah, yeah.
The Pokemon company is a company that owns Pokemon, and then there are other companies that own that company. But how, like, having multiple companies owning the rights to a game seems weird.
It seems like they all specialize in different things. So, like, Gambit is the publisher. GameCloud may be like bringing it to. Fae Farm is not a mobile game, right?
Uh, I don't think so. It's on
I don't.
Steam and it's on Switch, and I think it's on PlayStation and Xbox as well, but I don't think it's on mobile.
Okay, so if it's assuming it's not a mobile, confirmed and not a mobile game, then maybe GameCloud is going to be bringing it to mobile. Whatever Pure Wonder Interactive is, I have not a single clue. And then what generative AI is going to be used with Fae Farm, future game development, I'm not sure. I think they're just all using their different like specialties to come together for the game. May or may not make or break the game. I don't know. My hands are up in the arms. My arms are up in the air right now because I'm just like, I don't know.
I don't know what to say. I
I
guess
don't know
we'll
what to
just
say
have to
either.
see what happens.
Yay.
All right, let's go on to our final piece of news, which is a brand new game has been announced by Pokopia. That is the Palworld developer. They have announced a new game called Palworld Palfarm. That is the full title, Palfarm. Enjoy a farming life with mysterious creatures known as pals. Team up with them to grow your farm at your own pace in this brand new creature collecting farming sim, fully playable in multiplayer. Um, have you played Power World?
No. Can you hear my enthusiasm in my voice?
Uh, so oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed.
So this is a funny like full circle moment for today because I woke up this morning and the first thing I saw on my phone was this. Like
Uh,
6:30 in the morning as I'm like waking up because my son has got me up and I'm like, oh, what is life? And I'm looking and I'm
yeah.
like, oh, a what now? Power World farming game. And this comes like 2 weeks after a Pokemon farming game was announced.
I
Um,
know.
I'm not sure what to say. Uh, it looks interesting. I mean, obviously, I'm going to play it, right? Let's not pretend
Hmm.
anything.
Yeah.
You appear to the like various standard things in farming games, like shopkeepers and uh, blacksmiths and stuff, exist in this game, but they are pals. So like the shopkeeper is Patalia, one of the pals, and then the blacksmith is Anubis, and there's Cro Croagiro, who is the master of sunbathing, apparently. I'm not sure why they show you him fishing if he's the master of
I
sunbathing, but
beats me. I mean, you got to sunbathe to fish, right? I think. I don't sure.
sure, sure, whatever. I'm not sure you understand fishing. Um, and you're talking to these pals, which I don't think pals talk in Pal World, so that's an interesting change. And then one of the pals has a chainsaw, which is very on brand for Pal World. I do
Yeah.
think that some of it looks very funny. There's a moment where this pal like starts up the chainsaw and is going around cutting down trees while you're also cutting down trees with an axe.
Yeah.
Why you have the axe and you've given the pal a chainsaw, I don't know. But then the the tree falls down and squishes another pal, which is a very funny moment. Uh, and then
Poor little
you're apparently
guy.
playing Russian roulette with some creepy shadow dude.
Yeah,
And
that
then,
that makes no sense to me.
like,
Well,
I think this is very much leaning on the same sort of humor and stuff that Pal World had, and it's clearly trying to be satirical.
yeah.
There's like right at the end of the video, you have a pal come up to you and in a very Animal Crossing way is like talking to you. He says, "Oh, you're the
Mhm.
newbie who just moved in. You seem pretty cool." And then your player character, yeah, oh no, yeah, the pal says, "I'm confident in my ability to read people. Be my friend." And then the player character gets a pal ball. I can't remember what they call pal orb or whatever it is, and
Yeah.
throws it at the confused pal and catches it. So it's clearly trying to be funny and satirical, and
Hmm.
well, it's working for me so far. I'm amused. Um, I I wasn't expecting this.
I wasn't expecting this either. Like this genuine when I saw this in the notes, I was like, "Oh. Oh, interesting." I mean, the game itself looks like really good. I'm just in the camp of just still being hesitant because of everything that happened in the past. So I can't help but just go in with a sense of just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the game itself does look like visually very good, and the satirical humor I think is cute. I just don't understand this Russian roulette thing. Like, what are we doing here? How does that relate to anything else with farming? Like, why are we Russian rouletting in a farming game? But I guess that is the humor of the game, right? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Who
I'm
is this
fascinated.
guy? He looks like he could be from like Assassin's Creed, but also not. And I only say that because of his hood. But why is he here? What?
I don't know, he feels like a
What?
it feels like a Dragon Quest character to me more like.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I'm curious to see how this plays out. I will say that. I'm very curious to see how this plays out. I'm intrigued.
Yeah. Look, whatever happens is going to sell well.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Power World did,
Yeah.
and people are fascinated by this company. Uh, yeah, yes. Interestingly, I don't
Yes.
know. I don't know if I don't. Yeah, I don't know if you are aware of this or not, but they announced that Power World is going to exit early access next year, which
Oh,
is interesting.
really?
They also announced that this game is being developed by a different team. It's a new team, so not affecting Power World development. So
Okay.
if you were worried about that, which I'm sure some people would be, there you go. Don't worry about it.
Hey, there's that at least. It's not another haunted chocolatier type of moment.
Well, is anything a haunted chocolatier moment? I really am fascinated, and I love to see. Rumor has it that oh, so right, okay. I've read a paragraph here. On the island, there is a marketplace run by residents and pals where you can buy and sell crops and crafted goods.
Oh, we're
Rare
we're reading the same thing.
Rare items can sometimes be found there. Rumor has it there's also a forbidden black market hidden away on the island's far side. Guns, suspicious fertilizer, all sorts of things to trade. The consequences of buying these items are entirely your own responsibility.
This is crazy. This is nuts.
Look, I am at least
I'm
partially
intrigued.
in.
I'm intrigued. I'm definitely intrigued.
I'm definitely something
I like the little gif of above right above that marketplace thing
of the
of just
monkey
this
at the
little
gun.
guy just
Yeah.
yep, this guy just pulling up with yep.
What looks like a shotgun, but apparently is uh, automatic
I
rifle.
know, yeah. The logistics of it do not make sense.
Yeah, but it's a monkey with a gun, so who cares?
Yeah, you know what? True. It doesn't have to make sense.
Look, I mean, if this game has some like real ethical questions that make you decide things and you can get benefits from that, but you also then have to deal with the consequences of it,
Mhm.
I'm, yeah, let's go for it. If there are consequences for me giving a pal a chainsaw,
We'll see what happens.
I also find it interesting that this is a third person game because Palworld is first person.
Oh yeah, that's right. Maybe it's because it's being developed by someone else. And also like generally farming games are third person, so they probably did that for that reason.
Yeah, there are first person farming games, but yeah, I don't like them.
I can't even think of one off the top of my head.
All right, well, there we go. That's a thing. Um, do you have anything to talk about with Pokopia before we go on to the main topic?
Oh, with
Letting it,
Pokopia?
that's the Pokemon farming game.
Oh man.
That's a no.
I'm losing all of my time to that. I know that for sure. As long as it's good. I just don't know what the gameplay mechanic is going to be. I hope it's not just well, you know what, I'll still take it, but I hope it's not just Animal Crossing, copy and paste with Pokemon.
Hmm.
But I will still happily take it if that's the case. Um, I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I'm definitely going to be losing, I'm sure, a lot of time in the game, regardless of how good it is. Because it looks very cute. I just hope it doesn't feel empty,
Hmm.
is my only concern. But
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very intrigued to see how it ends up. It looks very much like Dragon Quest Builders 2 to me,
mhm.
which is more involved than Animal Crossing. Um, but
Okay, so that's good. I've never played Dragon Quest, to be fair, so I'm not familiar, but if you say it seems like it's going to be more involved, and that's nice to hear. Because again, yeah, I just don't want it to be, I don't want it to feel like empty and feel like so slow like Animal Crossing does when you first
yeah.
start.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think a huge part of that is it just being like real time based.
Hmm.
That massively slows down what you can do in any, you know, gaming session.
Yeah.
So I highly doubt that this is going to be real time based.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
think
see
so
that
too.
happening.
It would be kind of nice actually to have kind of the essence of Animal Crossing in the sense of like real time based, but still a way to be able to play as much as you want. I don't know what that would look like, but that would be nice, but
I think,
I'm also not
yeah,
expecting
I,
it.
I think the problem is it's hard to do crops on that sort of thing and not
Hmm.
a crop because if it's real time, right, it doesn't make any sense for the crops to grow in a day.
Yeah.
And so you're massively reducing how much you can do
Hmm.
in any week, right? Like uh it just changes how you think about things. And I certainly would not like that. I think it only works in Animal Crossing because it's such a small part of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that would look, even if you use like fertilizer or something. I don't even know if that would be able to speed up anything. Because again, like you said, the real time aspect does kind of put a hindrance on that. But either way, you could give me anything and I would be happy just because it's a cozy Pokemon game. I don't care.
Yeah.
I am weak. I am losing again all of my time to it. I am happy. I'm looking forward to it a lot.
Yep. All right. Let's go on to the main topic of the podcast, and that is Firefly Village. So I started this game, playing this game on the 18th of September. It is currently the 23rd of September, and I have 100% of the game.
Oh,
It
wow.
took me 7 hours to do that. Uh, Aislinn, I know you were planning on possibly putting an hour or so of time into this game. Did you manage to do
Hmm.
that at all?
I did not, unfortunately. I
Sad.
wanted to before recording, but because of my running around this morning, I was not able to. But knowing that you were able to get the game done that quickly does put this on my radar higher because it looks cute. But I'll
So
let you talk about it more before I. talk
Yeah.
about what it looks like.
Introduction, it is basically a very simple Stardew Lake. So it's very clearly taking a lot of you know, influence from Stardew Valley. You take over a farm, you start growing crops, you have a village where you have other people that you talk to, and you build up your farm, and there's relationships, blah, 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 blah. All the usual things. But what I would say, I guess, is it is all of those things simple, and it's very deliberately simple. And I find that very interesting. It doesn't feel incomplete, but it feels very deliberately simple. So I will get into that in the examples and the mechanics, but I guess that's just how I wanted to talk about the game as a whole. Starting off kind of visuals wise is obviously pixel arty, you know, not top down, not side on. What is it, 45 degrees on? I don't know
Yeah,
how
the
you would describe
classic.
45-degree angle, pixel art, grid based game. Your standard Stardew like visuals.
Yeah.
Um, the it does, however, have like character art for when you're like portraits when you're talking to them, which a lot
hmm
of games have done recently as well. Um, it's kind of what you see is what you get. If you look it up on Steam, what you see there is exactly what you'll end up with. It's not more or less than that. It's very much, you know, fair advertising on the visuals aspect.
hmm
And control wise, it feels very similar to Stardew as well. You're kind of like moving in a grid based aspect. It took me a little bit of time to get used to the controls just because I feel like there's a little bit more of a delay on stopping moving than I would expect normally. So quite often I would like move one square more than I was expecting.
There's a
But that
delay?
you get, yeah, well, just like when you let go of the button, it moves more than you would have expected to after stopping pressing the
Oh,
button, right?
interesting. Okay.
But I think that's just something you get used to very quickly, right? Because your brain starts to adapt to that and you start lifting it earlier than you normally would have.
Right.
But other than that, it's pretty standard. Um, this is where we get into, I'm going to talk about the days and the seasons. This is where we get into some of the simplicity of it. So the days feel a little bit shorter than Stardew. I haven't actually timed it, but it feels like maybe you're getting like 5 to 6 minutes in a day, whereas I think Stardew's like 11 minutes in a day, something like
That's
that. So it's
fast.
it
Okay.
is it is a fast day, but generally that doesn't feel faster than you would want because everything is scaled down massively, right? Like
Okay.
scale of village, things that there are to do, stuff like that is massively scaled down.
Okay.
You feel like you've got enough time to do what you want to do.
Okay.
Um Seasons are 7 days. So a week is a season,
Wow. Okay.
which has some interesting advantages and some disadvantages. So the advantage, I guess, is that you can very quickly get through a year, and it's quite satisfying to get through a year.
hmm
I suspect most people who play Stardew Valley don't ever get through a full year. I suspect they kind of get to like middle of autumn or fall and kind of they're done, right? Because most people don't
hmm
complete things. But it would be very easy to get through a year, you know, very quickly. Like if you
Yeah.
were like playing a session, you could probably get through a year in about an hour and a half if you're
Oh,
playing normally.
wow.
Which feels very satisfying to me, being
hmm
able to do it that quickly and get through everything. Um, I guess one of the disadvantages of it is if you don't get things done at the beginning of the season, you're not going to get them done, right? Because like some things take 5 days to grow. If you don't plant it on the first day or the second day or the third day, that's it. You can't grow it that season. So,
Yeah.
um, having said that, because you then only have 21 days to wait till this season's back again, it doesn't feel frustrating. Like I
Yeah.
had done, so I did 2 full years and I had almost everything done, but there was like one thing I hadn't done in summer. And so I like speed runned, speeded runned. Uh, I
I don't know
very
what the
quickly
phrase is
went,
either.
I very quickly did spring so I could get to summer and then do the thing that I'd missed the previous summer. Because it's just 7 days. It's really
hmm
easy to do that.
So do you mind if I ask a question
Yeah, go for it.
before you keep going? So it doesn't feel, because I guess my like reading the description of the game of it saying a bite-sized streamlined farming sim made me think that it potentially could feel rushed. So would you say it's like
Hmm.
that perfect pace? Like, is it a good middle ground of like feeling like it's moving? It really is a streamlined game, but doesn't feel like forced or rushed.
I think it depends on what you're looking for, right? Like I could see some people feeling it's rushed because,
Hmm.
I 100%ed it in 7 hours. That is fast, right?
Yeah.
Um, I can totally see why some people were like, that's too fast. I want slower. Um, Having said that, like you can take it slower, right? Like obviously
Hmm.
there is a setting for making your days slower. I didn't do it because I didn't feel the need to. Um, but I can see why someone would want to do that. And it's not like you're forced to do any of the things quickly, right? Like I got to the
Hmm.
point where I was trying to do it reasonably quickly, so that I could, have done a decent amount before the podcast. And then I realized I was like, 60% through the game. And I was like, oh, well, now I really want to complete everything before the podcast recording, right?
Hmm.
Um, so I've rushed through everything to do that. You could absolutely expand this out quite a lot and take it much slower. I also
Okay.
have a problem where I tend to speed run the first wee bit of farming games anyway, because I find when you can't do a huge amount quite boring. So I will do my crops and I'll do the kind of basic things that you need to do to build up relationships and stuff like that, and then I'll just go to
Yeah.
sleep. I'll go to sleep at like midday in spring one, uh just to kind of like speed things up there.
Yeah.
I didn't feel the need to do that in this one because obviously one, the days are quicker, and two, there's just more happening quicker.
Hmm.
So yeah, I guess it just depends on what you're looking for, but you could definitely take it slower if you wanted to.
That's nice that they give you the option because that would be my one point of concern.
Mhm.
I think I would enjoy the fact that it's like moving at a good pace, like moving pretty quickly, and I don't mind the fact that it takes 7 hours to 100% the game. But if I was in like another mood where I did want to take things slower,
Mhm.
I would have been curious if it felt like the game was rushing me. But it's nice to
Mhm.
know that you have the option to like make the game feel slower if you want.
Yeah, yeah, they've got standard day length and relaxed day length.
Nice. Okay. That's good to hear.
Mechanics wise, there's quite a few interesting things they do here, and you will continue to hear the theme of simplified. I guess maybe streamlined is probably that's what they use. I get why they're using that phrase, but also I do feel like it's accurate to say simplified as well. Like
Hmm.
it's all simple. Um, Farming wise, it is the standard loop. You throw down a seed, you water it the next day, and then
Hmm.
after a certain number of days, you harvest it. I guess you don't have I can never remember the right word, not hoeing, tilling the land. You don't till the land, it's automatic. Um there's not like there's you don't sow seeds on individual plots. You sow them per 3x3 plot. So you choose a seed and it will automatically go to the 3x3 plot. So it kind of speeds that up a little bit. Um, you've essentially got then 6 plots of farming land, each of which is a 3x3. And so you buy 6 seeds and then you sow those 6 seeds, and that gives you was it 9x6 plot of land. I'm probably not doing justice. This is lots of numbers, but it
I lost you like 5 numbers ago. I'm terrible with numbers. I'm
basically
just like
you're
looking up
not
into the ceiling to be like, 9 by 5, 3 by 4. I'm like, what is going on?
you're not sowing them on an individual square basis. You're doing a three
Okay.
by three block. So if you
Okay.
choose a seed, it automatically throws it to 3x3
Okay. All right. I can
rather
work
than
with
doing
that.
each
I can
individual
understand that.
square.
Okay.
Um, Watering is exactly as you expect. There's one watering can upgrade. The first watering can does a 1 square. You like water each individual squares individually, but then you get there's a one upgrade that does a 3x3. So that speeds things up. But it's still, again, very simple, right? You wake up in the morning, you go see your plants, you water them, and then eventually one of the days you'll harvest them, which can it be anything from 2 days to 5 days, I think, depending on which plant it is.
Okay.
But it's exactly what you would expect, other than the 3x3 plot being automatic. Everything else is exactly the same, right? You sow the seed, you water it, you harvest it. It's farming. What more do you want? There aren't
Fair,
any more of the
fair.
complicated things, though. There's no like fertilizer and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, you don't really need it because everything goes by so fast anyways,
Well,
I would assume.
exactly. And it doesn't have like quality. It's just you have a crop. You have a crop, right? Like if you have a
Yeah.
tomato, it's a tomato.
Yeah.
Um, if you're trying to be a streamlined farming game, you don't add things like that. I totally get why
Hmm.
that's not there. Oh, I forgot about an overall thing. Your bag. This is the one thing I don't like about the bag, but I get why they've done it. But I still don't like it. There's no stacking of items. So if you have 6 tomatoes, that takes up 6 spaces.
What?
Not a fan of that.
No.
But having said that, there's very little you do with things in this game other than sell them. So essentially, you pick up your tomatoes and you throw them straight in the shipping bin. So you
Okay.
don't tend to be storing anything, but that's good because the storage in this game is terrible, right? Your bag is get this 11 spaces. You c-
11?
you can store
Oh, I
11 things
see
in your bag.
11. I'm watching the pre-recorded broadcast on the Steam page as we're talking. I'm just watching the gameplay. I just saw the 11
Yeah,
spots that you have.
yeah. So it's a 3x4 grid, but one of them is taken up by the bin, so it's not 12, it's 11.
Oh my gosh. Okay. It's
Really
not
silly,
terrible because
but
of everything else you said, but I'm just like, oh,
yeah,
if we could just
I
get like
was
a little patch for that, that would be kind of
I
nice.
was I was very annoyed by that initially, and then I was like, oh, you know what? It's fine because of everything else in the game kind of pushing you towards like just get it done.
Yeah.
Um, the you can buy one chest, and that gives you 12 spaces in it. I think it's 12 rather than 11. Let me check. I've got the game running here. No, that's 11 as well. No, it's six. It's six.
It's
My bad. It's
six,
six. The
even
chest is
less.
six. So, the chest is also like 4,000 monies, which is very expensive compared to a lot of things in the game. So I didn't buy the chest till the end of the game because there was no point. I wasn't really using it for anything either.
Yeah.
The only there is one big disadvantage to the storage, and that is if you go and buy a bunch of seeds because you don't think about the storage, right? You go buy 11 seeds because that's how many you can store, though you shouldn't be buying 11. But let's say you buy 11 seeds because you buy the max. Actually, no, I just remembered it doesn't let you buy more than 6 seeds at once because that's how many you can sow. But if
Yeah.
you buy six and then you buy another six, you have to keep those in storage. And because they don't stack, you now have six out of your 11 spaces in your inventory stored up, unless you have the chest, in which case your entire chest is full of seeds until the next time you can use them, which might be 21 days, right? Because
Oh my
of your
goodness.
seasons.
Yeah.
So it's not a big problem, but if you're not thinking about things early on, you might be in the position where you either have to sell seeds you've just bought or
Yeah.
uh or have terrible storage for the next year.
Okay. Definitely noted for myself because I likely will eventually play this game. So definitely noted. Oh, yep, my bag is full. Okay. I watched that happen with all the turnips. Yeah, okay. At least the shipment chest is like right there too, but
Yes, yeah,
that is overall like frustrating
yeah.
and I don't see a reason why you shouldn't be able to stack things in your storage. Like I know
Streamline.
the game is encouraging you to like
Yeah.
keep going and again just bringing it back to like that streamlined gameplay loop, but I feel like you can still have a streamlined gameplay loop but allow stack at least stacking in your bag. At least.
Yeah, I think it would be better to have stacking.
Hmm.
Um
I don't think it would
uh,
hurt the game in any way to have that.
there's no stamina in this game. It's purely the time. So if you have the time to do a thing, you can do the thing.
Oh, that's nice actually.
I
If I want to
am.
mine forever.
Yeah, I'm definitely moving towards I do think that you should either have stamina or time,
Hmm.
automatic time. I it was the one thing I liked about Island or whatever it was called, that terrible game. The one thing I liked about that was it flipped that around and it had stamina, but it didn't have time. Like you just decided when it was the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I'd like more games to kind of play around with that idea, but it does annoy me now when games have both, and it's like I have a limited amount of time, but I also have a limited amount of stamina, and so
Hmm.
it's like, how are you focus? What are you focusing on doing? And it's like if you use up all your stamina, you don't feel like you should just go to bed straight away because you also have limited having those two limitations. They're always in competition with each other, and I don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm the same way. I mean, there's definitely a reason why I installed mods for Stardew was to be able to give myself the option. If I want to keep mining for the entire day, but let the time run, I could just turn on the mod and click unlimited stamina and I could just keep mining if I want to, if that's what I'm feeling in that moment. So I also wish that more games played around with either or of those and allowed for like more flexibility depending on your preferred play style.
Yep, yep, yep.
For me,
Uh,
it's like the essence of like limited time takes away from the coziness of a game for me because I feel
I think,
pressured,
yeah,
even though I know I don't actually have to, but like I still can't help but feel that pressure because of the
yeah,
time clicking.
yeah. I think that's the thing is like I'm fine with either of them existing, but only one of them because
Yeah.
having a limitation makes sense in your game, but having
Yeah.
two of them makes it like, especially as you say in cozy games, having two of them makes it doubly stressful. Um, because like in this game, when the time runs out, you're like, okay, fine. I did all the things I needed to do today, and
Hmm.
yeah, I didn't get everything done I wanted to, but it's fine because I've not wasted stamina. Because the
Yeah.
stamina doesn't exist, and I
Hmm.
used up all my time, and I was doing things the entire time in that time, so it's not like I wasted anything. Whereas the
Yeah.
problem is, it's like when you run out of stamina and you either have to go to bed or have
Hmm.
to, eat something to give you more
Yeah.
stamina, you feel like you're wasting something,
Yeah.
because you're like, to take advantage of this limited resource, I have to use up a different limited resource.
Yeah. 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 I definitely you are preaching to the choir right now. I 1000% agree. And that has been a big issue for me, I think, with truly getting into like more farming games in
Mhm,
general. Is
mhm.
it just it's like shuffling of resources and feeling like the pressure. Even though I know it's not actually supposed to be pressure, like you can do whatever you want. You can do absolutely nothing. But
Yeah,
me
it's still
being
an arbitrary
me,
number that's ticking down the
yeah,
entire
I can't
time.
exactly. I like can't help but feel the pressure.
For sure. Yeah, so I liked that. Animals. So this is an interesting one. So you can have a dog. There's a dog. The dog does nothing other than exist, but you don't have to do anything for him either. So that's fine. You just, say hello to him in the morning. He gets a little love heart. All good. You move on with your day. Um, there are cows and chickens. You can buy three cows and three chickens. Um, you don't have to feed them. You interact with them once a day to get their byproduct, and they're happy, and that's it, pretty
Oh,
much. Um,
okay, that's simple.
you can also buy a mayonnaise machine and a cheese machine,
Ooh,
but it's just you interact with it, and it automatically turns everyone you have in storage in your bag into that thing. So if you interact with it and you have one egg, you get one mayonnaise. If you interact, you have three eggs, you get three mayonnaise. But that's pretty much it.
okay. That's nice that it lets you do everything in one go rather than like
Yeah.
you have to make one mayonnaise at a time individually.
Yeah, yeah,
You can
yeah.
make three in one go if you have the three
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
But I guess you also have to be careful if you didn't want to make mayonnaise or multiple mayonnaise and you just wanted
I
one.
don't
Now you just made
think,
five.
yeah, I don't think you care, right? The only time I think you would
Hmm.
actually care is if for some reason you wanted to make a fried egg, because there's cooking in this game. But like there are three things you can do with an egg. You can sell it for like 60, or you can turn it into mayonnaise and sell it for 100, or
Okay.
you can turn it into a fried egg and sell it for 70. So it's
Oh,
like, why are you doing anything other than turning it into mayonnaise?
yeah, you know what? All roads lead to mayonnaise. Got it.
I made exactly one fried egg, and it was for the achievement.
Ah, so if you're the achievement hunter, then you're doing the fried egg.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're rolling in mayonnaise.
Because there is cooking in this game. The cooking is very simple, streamlined, if you will. You interact with the kitchen. You choose one piece of food, and it either turns into a different piece of food or nothing happens. You can do three things a day, so you can do three cookings a day in total. And some things turn into food and some don't. So if you interact with an egg, it turns into a fried egg. If you interact with a tomato, it turns into tomato soup. If you interact with corn, it turns into popcorn. Um, if you interact with lettuce, it turns into coleslaw. If you interact with cheese, it does nothing. If you
Wait,
interact with milk, it does nothing. These
if
things
you
are just
interact
things.
with if you interact with lettuce and you don't have mayonnaise, you still
No,
get coleslaw?
you do. It's one item, one thing.
Double the mayonnaise.
It's obviously a very simple coleslaw. As you say, everything leads to mayonnaise.
All roads lead to mayonnaise. You're just rolling in mayonnaise.
The coleslaw is very funny as well. It looks like it's like rainbow colored.
Oh,
I don't know what to say.
mayonnaise, that's it.
Mayonnaise. All roads lead to mayonnaise is obviously this episode title. Um,
Perfect.
Mining is pretty much what you'd expect from mining. There are rocks and there are like ore ores and you get stuff for it. Interestingly, now here's one thing. Your rocks and your wood do not count to your normal storage. They're separate storage.
Oh, thank God. That's so good. That's
Well,
so good. I'd be
well,
a wreck.
especially as the biggest house upgrade takes 200 wood and 200 stone. It would be
Ooh,
impossible to store that all with there.
yeah.
But
So,
the ores do count towards your storage, but you don't use them for anything other than gifts and selling.
okay. All right. So the separate storage for wood and rocks, is
Mhm.
that just an unlimited storage or is that also limited?
I don't know. I never went higher than 230 because I didn't need more than that. And by the time I needed
Oh,
that much, I'd already used it all. It's only for house upgrades.
okay. All right. Cool.
And the top one is 200 of each. So,
Okay. That yeah, in my brain, that's basically unlimited.
yeah. I
Okay.
suspect if there is a limit, it's like 999.
Okay.
And you don't need more than like 800 in the entire game.
Cool. All right.
I'm not going to find out if there's a limit. I'm not wasting time
No, that's totally okay. If
because
anything, that might
it's one rock gives you one rock, so I'd have to do 1,000 rocks to find out. I'm not doing that.
that might be may or may not be if I am able to find more time and I'm not running around as much. That might be something that I may try to investigate because I love mining. So
That's the
that
real
could be a
grinding
personal
for you.
project. Yeah. That could be my personal project.
Fishing is basically Animal Crossing fishing. So you see a shadow in the water, you cast. There you go. You cast your fishing line into the water. You see an exclamation mark. You press the button. You reel it in.
Fair enough.
There's different like fish. I think there's like 12 fish or something like that. I lost track. Okay, here's my real complaint about this game. There is no list of what fish and crops you've got and which ones you haven't got. It's very annoying because it's like there is an achievement to catch one of every fish, but I was like, I don't know which fish I've caught and which ones I've not
Oh,
caught, and that's
yeah,
very annoying.
that is.
I would
I
like
guess
a
you'd have to
list
break
of
out
all
an
the fish I've
Excel
caught.
sheet.
Well, I mean, even then, how would I know what I've done before? I don't know what I've done in the past if there's no log of it, right?
You gotta manually type out the Excel sheet
But no,
every time
even
you
then, I
catch a
would. But
fish.
you'd have to know beforehand to do that. I spent a
Oh,
year
I
in game
know.
not knowing there wasn't a list and not knowing that that achievement existed.
Yeah, that I would agree. That's pretty nuts that there's no list in game.
because clearly they're
especially
keeping
since the
track of it.
achievement exists.
They're
Yeah,
keeping
the
track of
achievement
it. Tell
exists.
me. Tell me what I have.
That is
What
valid. That is very valid.
the village layout is quite simple. You've got your farm, and then there's like the town, and then there's a foresty area with like a river. Um, there's like a shop for buying seeds and stuff from. There's a animal shop, and then there's kind of your usual people around and about and usual archetypes. The shop is interesting. It will stock it. This one is also very similar to Animal Crossing. It will stock like 4 items a day, and they're randomly generated. Um, but that adds to the annoyance of the seasons being 7 days, right? Because this is why it took me so long to do tomatoes, um, specifically for the cooking achievement. I
Hmm.
hadn't done tomato soup because I didn't have the cooking facilities because that's like the first house upgrade. I didn't have that in the first year. And then the second year, I was trying to do all of the cooking as I was going. So I was like growing all of the crops I could. I didn't get tomatoes in the shop until day 4 of the season, and they take 5 days to grow. So I just couldn't grow tomatoes
Oh,
that year.
yeah.
And that was really annoying. It's like, why am I not? The first day I was like, okay, fine. I've not got them today. Not the end of the world. I'll get them. I might get them tomorrow. Go in the
Hmm.
second day, still not there. Very annoying, but I might get them tomorrow. Next day, it's a festival, so the shop is closed.
Oh. Okay,
Then
yeah.
it's impossible for me to grow them this year.
Yeah. I think I also would agree with your complaint there, but I'm a little bit more lax on that in the sense that at least like it's a cozy game at the end of the day. You're not supposed to rush it. So like
Russia, I'd already
sure,
done a
but
bunch of
like
this. This was me
no,
trying to
I know.
finish the achievements, and I had to just speed run a year to get the
Yeah.
next season so I could actually grow the tomatoes.
But the grind of farming, I thought you liked farming.
I had done literally everything else in the game by this point.
But you got to keep grinding your farming, you know? It's therapeutic, you know? It's cozy.
I spent a lot of time sleeping that year. Let's put it that way. I was hibernating.
Era sleep.
um,
Your character caught up on all the lost sleep over the past 2 years, and the third year just trying to make all the energy preservation with sleeping went into the tomato soup that you made.
that was an amazing tomato soup. The whole one bowl of it that I made.
It's gonna be have like gold flecks in it. It's gonna be a sprinkling of truffle, like
There are festivals in the game. They're on specific days and they're specific things. I won't say too much about them because I feel like that would kind of ruin the story for people. But they're fun. I enjoyed them. They tie into the characters a lot. And again, I'm not going to talk about like individual characters, but I found most of the characters interesting and fun to get to know. They are similar to everything else in the game. They are simplified, streamlined. Sorry. uh, but they were fun, and a lot of them are kind of tropey caricatures, as they're not on the level of Stardew, but they were fun anyway. The relationship system is the max of 3 hearts, and it's basically just by gifting them. There are gifts that they will dislike, and there are gifts that they will love. But I found that most items most people liked. So it took quite a while for me to find a gift that someone disliked or that they loved. But you do get it, and you get quite a big boost for a love, and you do get a downgrade for dislike. And it was very sad when I first gave someone something they disliked, and I'm like, "Whoa, what was this reaction? My word, calm down."
Is
I'm sorry that I
there
didn't know you didn't like mushrooms, right? You never told me that.
is when you find out that character dislikes, I guess in this case mushrooms, for example, is there a documentation anywhere in the game? Or is that also
What do you
lacking?
think?
Okay, question answered.
Yeah, no, I would like, this goes back to the same thing about the fishing thing. I would like more documentation of this stuff. Like, I'd like a list of the
Okay.
characters and their heart levels and what I've learned about them. That would be nice.
Okay. I guess noted for
They do
myself
tell,
to just take physical notes.
yeah, they do also tell you in just conversation sometimes. Like, they'll be like, "Oh, I did have one guy tell me that he didn't like sunflower seeds at one point," and I was like, "Oh, it's interesting. I wonder why he's told me that." And then I realized it's because he doesn't want you to give him sunflower seeds.
Right.
Um, and I've had people tell me like, "Oh, I love this" or whatever. It's great. It's kind of like just generic text as you're talking to them, but it's there. But you got to remember it all.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, definitely. I would just have like a little notebook or like a little
Yeah.
Excel sheet or something going while playing the game.
Excel probably feels over the top. There's like four relationships.
Fair. Okay, so physical notes or notes on my phone or
It's
something.
yeah, it's four characters and they all have I think one dislike and one love.
Okay.
Um, but it's fine. It was fun to so you like once you get them to 1 star, they'll ask you if you want to go and hang out, and you have a little cutscene with them, and then when you get them to 3 stars, they'll do again, and they'll talk about how much they like you. And there's very definitely some flirting happening, but there's no explicit romantic relationships.
Okay.
But at least one of them was very much flirting with you, and it's clear there's something there, but there's no like explicit relationship.
Okay. Does it feel like this game, because I did notice that this or Firefly Village was the first game it seems like for this developer.
Hmm.
Does it feel like there could be a follow-up game in regards to these characters, or does it seem like it's like kind of a standalone game? Since you said that it just kind of like alludes to a romantic something something, but doesn't like explicitly.
I would be more likely, I think, that they would update the game rather than another game that
Right. Okay,
includes that.
that's a better question.
I don't think the characters are interesting enough to be like, oh, here is the Firefly Village extended universe. Um, it would be fun to have a little bit more with the characters, but that's about it, right?
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, that's actually a better question. So you could see this game potentially having like a future update, whether it's free update or DLC
Yeah,
or
I mean, I don't want to pressure any indie dev to
yeah.
do anything like that, but I feel like if there was an update that included, further relationship progression uh, and a few other things, then I could see that it would feel natural. It wouldn't feel out of place.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Yeah, obviously we're not expecting it or like saying we this needs DLC, blah blah blah. Like just
No, no,
more so like
no.
does it
I think
feel like it could potentially happen
yeah, yeah,
if the opportunity presents itself, which seems to be the case, which is nice to know.
yeah. I mean, I think for what the game is, like it costs is it $9, I think? £7.
Yes.
It feels very much worth it. It's a fun little experience, right? Like you're not
Hmm.
expecting for that amount of money to have a Stardew experience. It's from a single dev. I mean, I know Stardew was as well, but it feels streamlined is the right term for it. And I have very much enjoyed it. And for what the money that it is, it was a fun little, you know, under 10-hour experience. Um, I always find it funny when people complain about games being too short when they're like 10 hours long, because I'm like, that's like 5 films for the
Yeah,
price of
right?
one.
Hmm.
I get it when it's like $70 or something, but when it's less than 10, you're getting multiple films worth of content for the price of one, right?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just from you telling me about it, like I feel inclined to want to play this game sooner rather than later. So that in itself is telling as someone that does not like to have multiple farming games in the rotation and just struggles to pick them up in general because as
Yeah.
much as I like them, it's also like how many farming games do I need? But I like that this one is like very as the word that they used,
Yeah.
they picked very good words to describe this game, but very bite-sized.
Yeah. Yeah, I think of it kind of like Christmas films.
Hmm.
every Christmas film, you know what's going to happen in that Christmas film, but that doesn't make it less enjoyable if you like Christmas films.
Yeah.
This is very much like the standard tropey farming game, and you know what you're getting out of this,
Yeah.
but that's what you're expecting, and that's what you enjoy, and you see these things, and you're like, oh, it's this thing. I love this thing. Please excuse me.
Bless you.
So like if that sounds fun to you, then this is something that you might want. And if it sounds like
Hmm.
something you're like, oh, I hate these tropes, then don't watch it. Right? Like if you hate cheesy Christmas films, don't go watch a cheesy Christmas film. I don't know what you want from me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that sounds, I mean, I do love rather the essence of farming games. So to have it in a more digestible version is nice, especially because as of recently, when I do pick up games, I pick up games in like 30-minute increments. So I
Hmm.
could stretch this out over a
Yeah. Y-
good while and make it feel like fully valuable without it
Yeah,
feeling
yeah,
like overwhelming like
for
Stardew
sure.
can feel.
For
Like
sure.
even like for
And
me, like Fields of Mistria can feel, et cetera, et cetera.
yeah, and in that sort of that time period, if you're playing half an hour at a time, you could either like do like 2 to 3 days if you're like taking things relaxed, or you could
Yeah.
get through a week and have a season every playthrough, and you would still get, a good like 5 to 10 game sessions in it before you're feeling like you've done everything.
Yeah. That sounds great. That sounds perfect, honestly. Something just more digestible and
Mhm.
less lower stakes, but still feeling like a full farming game experience.
Yes, yeah, I agree. I think if it sounds interesting to you, uh, listener, then it's probably worth it. It's cheap enough as well that it's you don't feel, you know, horrible if it's not something you stick a whole bunch of time into.
Yeah. I mean, it
Oh,
looks it it,
here
it
we go.
just
I've got
looks
it's four
cute.
4 minutes apparently. It says on the Steam page it's 4 minute days for the standard
Oh, perfect.
thing.
I had another question. I'm trying to think. Oh, so with the game being shorter, does it still feel like it's like more impactful or like meaningful? Like, does it leave a mark on you at all? Obviously, it doesn't
Uh
have to be like a strong mark because it
yeah.
is just a farming game. But in regards to like the characters, you said you enjoyed them even though they're tropey, but does it leave like a
Yeah.
little bit of
I,
an
I'm
impact on you?
I'm not going to be sitting here in 2 years thinking about this the way I do with Stardew,
Yeah,
5 years later, 7 years later, whatever, 8 years later. I forget. So many years. Um,
many, many.
I'm not going to still be thinking about any of these characters the way I think about Linus from Stardew, right?
Hmm.
But I had fun, and there is enough there to be like, I've spent nearly a week thinking about this game and enjoying it, and that's quite a lot for something as simple as it is. Your life isn't gonna be changed playing it,
Yeah.
but it's fun.
Because I was thinking in like the mindset of like going back to Wanderstop,
Hmm.
playing that game, how short it was, but
Hmm.
it's still it has been ruminating in I don't know how long it's going to ruminate in my brain, but it has been ruminating in my brain
Hmm.
for quite a while since I've played it.
Hmm.
And again, very short game, very simple gameplay loop,
Hmm.
left a very big impact on me. But that doesn't mean that this game, well, it seems like this game doesn't necessarily do that, but it doesn't take away from the game either, which is nice.
Hmm. Yeah,
I was just curious if there was
yeah,
like a
no,
character moment or something that was
not
like, oh
really.
man, I'm gonna remember this for a little bit.
Not a huge amount. I mean, I liked kind of the cutscenes, but there's not a humongous amount that I'm still remembering about them now.
Okay.
But that is what it is. I will say the one thing, I think that if you love the idea of expanding a farm and seeing it go from something small to something big, this is the one thing that I think would be missing from this. It's very static. You
Mhm.
expand your house, and you upgrade your watering can once, but that's about it. There's no like adding of land. There's no like you can basically the day one you can plant all of the plants that you're able to plant in the same as at the end of the game. So there's not like that greater progression other than building up the house.
Right. I mean, I think that's okay. Well, if you wanted to like, would the game feel satisfying if you did want to like replay it, even since you're not able to like continue expanding?
I could see somebody trying. I could see a speedrunner getting into this
Okay. All
and being
right.
like,
That's actually pretty cool.
how do I, make this the most efficient possible? I could
Hmm.
see someone doing that.
But otherwise, past that, maybe
Probably not.
not.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably
Fair.
not.
Okay.
There's
Fair.
not a huge amount of replay value there, I don't think, other than speedrunning.
Okay. I mean, it's less than $10, so I that makes sense. Maybe replay it again and when you forget most of the story, like 5 years down the line, when Haunted Chocolatier is still not out, you know?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But
All right.
cool.
Well, thank you, Aislinn, for joining me to talk about Firefly Village.
Thank you for having me.
Is there anything you would like to say to the audience?
Um,
Where you can be found if you want to be found, etc.
Really the biggest thing is thank you for having me again. Even though I wasn't able to get around to playing this game,
How dare
I
you?
look forward to playing this game. If you want to find me elsewhere, you can find me on multiple social medias at A's Trainer, AIS Trainer, whether it's Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, just not Twitter, essentially. Obviously, I stream on Twitch, but as of right now, I'm doing a lot of co-working because I am melting over preparing for a work training that I have coming up in October.
Mm.
But otherwise, Chris and I also just, as you were mentioning in the beginning of the podcast, we are trying to get back into the swing of things with Moo and Koo. So we have our own podcast, Moo and Koo, that we're trying to get back into. Um, Otherwise, though, nothing really else. I'm just happy to be here after it being a while because I've been wanting to pop in on more episodes and whatnot, but it's been just very busy, and I am like on a even trying to like message me has been on like a 3 to 5 business day cycle. So this was nice to just be able to like record with you and chat with you about a cozy game.
You can find the podcast on Tumblr and on Blue Sky at THS Pod. You can send us feedback on our website, which I've fixed because I
Yes.
noticed nobody will have heard this while we're recording. But when I said this on uh, the this week's episode, which is coming out tomorrow as we record,
Hmm.
I noticed that the website was broken. The contact form was broken on it, and it has apparently been broken since May.
Oh, oh,
So I have fixed that. Huzzah! So if you've been trying to send us
yay.
feedback on the website and you weren't able to, you can do it now.
Yippee.
So that was a mistake. So you can do that there. You can also find links to everything to do with the podcast, including a link to our Patreon, patreon.com/THS pod, where you can get access to our Slack and talk
Very
about
cozy.
things and see pictures of Cody's new puppy.
Oh my God. Literally screaming, crying. So cute. Like I saw that and I was like, I am gonna throw up. I cannot get over how cute.
You can also see Johnny argue about how the Silk Song episode shouldn't happen. Uh, and you can also get access to our bonus episodes of the podcast. There should have been one just released when this comes out with me and Kevin talking about this year's superhero films. I've watched all of them. He's watched none of them. Um, it's a
Oh,
fun dynamic. Let's put it that way.
I'm looking forward to that.
And we've got some more coming up. Obviously, it's nearing the end of the year. We will have our Game of the Year episode where
Yippee.
we do our non-farming Game of the Year on the greenhouse, and some other things planned as well. So get up there if you want that. Yeah, I think that's everything. Thank you, Aislinn, again for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, listeners, for listening. And until next time, have a good harvest.
Woo!
The harvest season is created by Al McKinley with support from our patrons, including our pro farmers Kevin, Stuart, and Elisa. Our art is done by Micah the Brave, and our music is done by Nick Burgess. Feel free to visit our website, harvestseason.club, for show notes and links to things we discussed in this episode. All right, well, thank you anyway. With that, but not anyway. Thank you. Yes, great. I don't know how to respond to that. Thank you. Uh,
That's fair. That's okay.